welcome to vlog 29.
Make it work, make it work, make it work.
Guys, welcome to vlog 29. This is a review of episode 4 of Project Runway of season 10. And let me tell you, there is a lot of drama. And today I've taken 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, about 7 pages. And only 7 pages because I kind of write big. I don't know if you can see it. And I scribble a lot and stuff like that. So I might not discuss everything that I took notes on, but maybe it'll be interesting and maybe it won't. So if you have not watched episode 4 of season 10 of Project Runway, click out now. Obviously, if you're watching this, you've probably watched the episode which finished 6 minutes ago from when I'm shooting this, but by the time this is uploaded, it will be past the time. Okay, so anyway, this was obviously episode 4, and the challenge of this episode was to use Michael KORS's stuff in his store. Not necessarily use his stuff in his store, but to design for a woman on the go and design from their own aesthetic and make sure the stuff that they design is stylish and fashionable and make sure it's versatile, practical, and comfortable. Now, before I get into the challenge, we need to get into the controversy of Andrea.
Warning.
Fun stuff happened at the middle of the night. She actually left the Atlas apartments in the middle of the night. She ran out of the competition like a big chicken, up in the middle of the night. And before, the whole work started and the challenge started, the guys in the competition didn't know that Andrea left, because obviously the guys live with guys and the girls live with girls. Chris even admitted to Fabio that he might have pushed Andrea under a bus at judging, and he didn't know what to say to her. Obviously, if you watched episode 3 at the end, at judging, they were kind of bashing each other, and they were really trying hard not to say things to each other, and because they really cared, and they know, both of them, that they are great designers and stuff like that.
If this is the losing look, which one of the two of you should go home?
I did my best with the mistakes that we both made. I mean, he really did screw up the bodice. He didn't know how to do the cowl neckline.
Are you kidding me? When you see the feedback, you'll understand what happened. I'm here for such a big reason. I need to be here. This is what I meant to do. I want this so bad.
Well, we both do, Chris. I've lost everything
You were
in life before
laughing at the
here.
sewing machine.
I wasn't laughing, okay? I feel as if this is not my best work. I have to own that.
Okay.
Then more stuff happened. Karun, or whatever his name is, and forgive me, I'm not going to be pronouncing these names again correctly. The Japanese guy, the hyper Japanese guy, was feeling completely sick. So he went to Mood normally, got his fabric, stuff like that. Then he finally decided that he also wanted to leave the competition. And everybody was in shock for that as well. Michael KORS, even in the store, said fashion is not for sissies. And that's obviously true. If you can't handle the industry, then you shouldn't be in it. And obviously they got $150 budget and Mood, and they all had to do it in one day, which is pretty much like 12 hours. And they were in Mood. Karun, whatever his name was, had very low energy, and Fabio commented on it, when they had like their one-on-one interviews with the camera. Chris, when they finally found out that Andrea, left, Chris blamed himself partly for her leaving, and he blamed himself because Andrea originally said something on the likes of, if I leave now, I'm thankful for the opportunity that I've had on the show. And she was kind of pre-leaving already. And what I'm thinking, and even one of the people on the show said this, that, you know, if she was actually thinking of leaving the show, why did she make I can't say his name, I'll annotate it, Rairo, the guy who lost, you know, actually make him leave? She should have left herself. But whatever. And like I said, you know, Karan was thinking about it for the last 3 days, that he should go, and he wants to go because he wants to find another way in the industry. And, you know, if he works on his own pace, he has more freedom and he doesn't have to communicate with people and stuff like that. So obviously people in the show were not happy about that. Buffy even said everybody is dropping like flies. And then, you know, Fabio and Nathan and everybody pretty much started bawling and crying, and because they didn't want him to go, and they really tried to keep him staying there and convinced him. And they tried to, you know, tell him that 1,000 people like wanted to be in the competition, and, you know, he's not gonna get the chance again, and he just didn't want to stay. You know, Nathan was like, I totally want to leave, I'm not going to, but I want to leave, because, you know, he was struggling too. Eventually Tim Gunn, you know, came around and told everybody that Andrea finally emailed them and said that, you know, she wanted to be terminated from her position in the competition, which is kind of sad. Wasn't the way to do it. She should have, you know, just lost. Maybe on purpose, but not seemingly on purpose. Whatever. I thought that she was a great designer. I mean, she had her faults, but every designer is gonna have his or her faults. So, whatever. But, you know, because Karun left, they brought Rairo back. And guess who wasn't happy about that? Van. I'm not happy about it either. I agree with Van. Rairo likes to complain a lot. And he likes to make an excuse for everything. And Rairo made a quote, I'm back, bitches. You're not back. Your thing that you made, Rairo, was not good at all. And I'll get into that in a sec. Rairo made a quote, I think my biggest problem is my time management. It's very hard because I keep getting all these ideas and then I end up going in multiple directions. Duh! And then Chris saw that Buffy was struggling with her pink jersey type dress, which was ugly to begin with. He offered her some, you know, black saffron instead of the pink crap that she got at Mood, and she was rude and was like, no. And he offered to help her as a friend, and she was like, no. And Chris was like, I really don't want the judges attacking it. I think he generally cares about these designers. And the pink thing that she made is just disgusting. And she even said, I'd rather go down with something I know is me rather than going down because I changed something. And then Raul pants are, he made them 4 inches too short with 2 hours to spare, and he still needed to make a jacket, which he really didn't accomplish that well. But I don't know. Let's get to the judging part, because that's fun. There was actually 2 guests this time. Obviously there was Nina Garcia and there was Michael KORS and Heidi Klum. The 2 guests were Hayden Pentini, and she was the cheerleader in Heroes. But if you don't recognize that, she's going to be in Nashville on ABC, and that's an upcoming show. And there is also Rachel Roy, who is a fashion designer. Anjaya was the winner of the show. They said her dress was, they loved it, and it was stunning and interesting and effortless, and not a head turner though. Not a black dress, they were happy about that. If the dress was lowered, they could have added riding boots to it. It's sleek and it can be made into an anytime dress. And then I'm not going to talk about Alicia and Melissa because they were safe. Buffy made an ugly jersey print color thing which had a zebra and a pink jersey thing, and she was hiding behind, you know, kookiness, and she made a weird toga thing, and you know, something in the shoulders were missing, but they loved the color, but looks very inexpensive. And if you have to have the belt save your dress or whatever, then you are no good. And it looked like a smock. It looked like just disgusting, according to Michael KORS. And then Fabio was taken aback by the structure. Well, the judges were taken aback by the structure. They liked what Fabio was wearing much better than what the model was wearing. And Fabio was wearing some kind of rope thing and some funky stuff, and it was actually cooler than what the model was wearing. I haven't seen his potential yet, and the dress should have been longer, and it wasn't glamorous, and it was just bad. And then Gunnar and Nathan were safe, so who cares about them? Dimitri was the best garment that they saw on that episode, which I don't agree with, but he does have good sewing skills. Heidi Klum said, do I want to have it? No, but it's still a good sewing skill. He needs to get away from safety. It's a safe dress. What they said to him was there need to be more shoulder stuff. I didn't really know what they meant by it. They just wanted more shoulder stuff. But like I said, he had excellent sewing skills, and you can go into nighttime with the dress. Van didn't win immunity again, thank God. Royal, I already talked about that. He just screwed up. He had like leather stuff on the pants because he had to rush it and just rushed repairing, and it was just horrible. And Aliana, she made some kind of silver, really huge. She keeps making huge things that I don't like, which is probably fashionable, and I just don't understand it. And then Chris made this beautiful, 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 beautiful leather thing, black dress and leather jacket from $150, which was completely shocking. And his story was the woman has a husband, a 4-year-old, and they were going to dinner, and they loved it, and it was a leather jacket, and the guest wanted it, and clearly he knows what he's doing, and it's polished, and it's respectable, and it's comfortable, and it's glamorous, and it's sexy, and it's most editorial, and most sex appeal, and you know, stuff like that. So obviously I told you Sonja won, and Hayden even asked if she could wear the dress to a red carpet event, if she could have the honor. So yeah. And the person who lost is, can you guess? Buffy. Yep, Buffy lost. Tim Gunn said, you know, they're gonna lose the season 10 hostess because, you know, she was loud and she was, it's gonna be quiet now. And I kind of knew it was gonna happen because the jersey was just disgusting. But it was unique, and I'm glad that she, you know, stuck to her guns and, you know, did stuff. And then the next week, according to the, you know, the next summary, Project Runway thing is another team challenge, so that should be fun. Alright, that was my review today. It was less complicated than the last challenge episode, but let me know what you think of my review, and I will see you guys tomorrow. Goodbye.